Imagine you could design your own baby, a quote-unquote designer baby. You would be able to control all of its phenotypic characteristics, personality traits, and abilities. You could combine the best of you and your partner to make the perfect mix of the two of you.
You could make it musically talented, athletic, attractive, a good cook, funny, intelligent, and/or success-oriented, along with a variety of other traits that could be controlled. Recently, technology has advanced to the point where gender and overall health can be screened in potential embryos to select for the desired child. In the near future, scientists believe that they will be able to screen for other traits such as eye color, hair color, and complexion, and later, personality characteristics. However, due to the reluctance of the public and restrictive government policies, many scientists have found it difficult to advance this science as quickly as they think they could.
Hypothetically, in the future, Mr. and Mrs. Jones have decided they would like to have a baby girl, but they are concerned about the ethical validity of having a designer baby. If they decide to go through with it, they would like the baby to have Mr. Jones's hair color, eye color, musical talent, and intellect. Mrs. Jones wants the baby to have her mouth, nose, athletic ability, beauty, and cooking skills. Mrs. Jones is also concerned because she has a family history of Huntington's disease and does not want to pass it on to her daughters. They visited Dr. Q to discuss the pros and cons of making their own designer baby.
Hello there, Dr. Q. My wife and I would like you to explain to us the benefits and drawbacks of creating our daughter using genetic selection.
Of course, Mr. Jones. It's very important to know both sides of an issue before you make a decision. But first, what traits would you like your daughter to have?
We would like her to be musically inclined, athletic, physically attractive, gifted in the culinary arts, funny, smart, and successful. We would also like her to have a mixture of the best of my husband's and my physical features.
All of that is possible as long as at least one of you has each of the desired traits. So let's discuss the other benefits of this technology. Along with being able to choose your daughter's physical appearance and skills, you will also be able to choose an embryo that is free of genetic disorders, deformities, and abnormalities.
Oh, that's really good. I have a family history of Huntington's disease and do not want my daughter to have genes for that.
That will be completely possible. There will be no surprises in what your daughter's genome will contain. Another argument that doesn't really apply to you two specifically is that if you were to have another child already that had a physical condition and needed a donor, we could genetically engineer another child to be the perfect donor for your first. This has been done before to save lives. Adam Nash in 2000 was born to be a blood donor for his sister and was able to save her life through a couple of blood transfusions. Also, scientists look at this technology with the possibility of maintaining genetic diversity. Overall, I'm guessing that the both of you would want to provide the best you could for your child, and through this technology, you would make it possible for her to have the best, easiest life she could have.
That all sounds great, but what are the drawbacks of doing such a procedure?
Most of the disadvantages to this technology are moral or ethical concerns. Some people don't like the idea of testing embryos and are against the possibility of needing an abortion. Others don't like the idea of playing God and deciding the traits of their child that they believe should be left to chance or divine design. Still others look to the future and are concerned about discrimination against non-genetically engineered children. Also, some are concerned about the appearance of trends in child design that will make them more similar to accessories and clothing items than actual human beings. This so-called Frankenstein argument raises concern that genetically engineered humans will be considered more like products than actual people.
Oh, I had never thought of that.
Some believe these trends will lead to a level of conformity that will limit variation in the human genome. Another concern is that if the parents pick the child's traits, it limits their ability to create their own identity. The rights of the baby are also an issue that needs to be addressed. Some groups and religions believe that even unborn children have rights to their own body. This is also an issue of the child becoming depressed if problems arise and the child does not achieve all that was planned for them.
How long would a process like this take?
I'm glad you brought that up. There are actually two factors that I wanted to talk to you about. This can be quite a lengthy process, taking months or years to complete. Donations, tests, identifying the desired traits, hormone therapy, and in vitro fertilization, with the possibility of repeated attempts depending on the success of the implantation and search for the desired traits.
What would be the cost of this procedure? I can imagine it can be quite costly, especially if multiple attempts are needed.
Yes, that's the other thing I was going to tell you about. This procedure can be quite costly. It costs around $14,000 at a minimum, but that's only for one attempt. With a 10 to 35% success rate for in vitro alone, this could become really expensive. Sociologists are also concerned that this high expense will cause a class separation between lower-class, normally conceived children and well-off, upper-class, genetically engineered children.
Well, thank you for your time, doctor. My wife and I need to think this over a little more because we didn't realize how many drawbacks there were to this procedure and how it could affect generations to come. Can we make another appointment to see you later?
Perfectly fine. I will show you to my secretary.